So the first function is you take the previous code which Perry just hit run, takes the Python code, creates the study area. So in this case, the study area is the shape file of the La Plata River Basin. Ben, jump in anytime you want to comment. Or
Okay.
and the second function, you hit run for the second function. And the second function is subsetting it, changing the format of it. And it puts it all into the proper format for this thing. Go ahead. Okay, so then we go in and try to start doing the start and the end dates, basically starting, and this is all GPM. So we're starting and we are doing a shorter string of dates, even though GPM started in 2014 because we ran out of space on the computer. So Perry only put 5 years of data. So that's the this thing. So you can go ahead. Preload variables, generate starting string between the dates. We can hit that too. You go ahead, hit start, run. And then we start because all of this, all of the GPM scripts which Ben has worked on, and this script is available to you. If you have any questions, please email me or email Ben. We can provide his email to you. So you can use this script directly for your study. You don't have to rewrite this script or launch it in Jupyter Notebooks, as Perry has so rightfully pointed out. So you don't have to know it. But the only thing you have to change is the time period which you want the data for and the shape file of your study area. So if you want to change it to go to some other place, you can do that. Okay, go ahead. So we hit 6. And then so basically this is going through the date and time of the year. And again, we want to aggregate it to monthly. The 7th one is finds out all of the stuff for the year. Then the geolocation parameters, where we are, the lat and lon of this place. Okay, and then this one is working on soil moisture data set. Basically, the code is same for GPM and the soil moisture. So, you know, I mean, these two data sets for NASA is in the same format. So it's very simple to use the same Python code or in the same Jupyter notebook in the same fashion. Printing all the files. And another thing, this is the 1 kilometer data, and the downscale data, which is a product which we have developed in our group, will be soon available on NSIDC. So you can get it from another vendor too. Yeah. Okay, so the number 11 is reprojecting the soil moisture data for the watershed. In our case, the watershed is La Plata River Basin. And again, this is this is the shape file for the La Plata River Basin. This is actually going in and starting to plotting all the data sets. This is making the annual soil moisture maps for each month of the year. And you can see this is all the drawing codes of Python. I mean, most of you probably know this stuff anyway. And then this is how it looks like. For 2021, you can see the soil moisture in different locations of the La Plata Basin. And the color map is blue is wet and red is dry. And actually, I will talk a little bit about this in my water cycle talk Wednesday afternoon. That's tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. Okay, so not only can you make spatial maps, but you can also make time series plot, because sometimes you want to go to a location and make the time series variability of the soil moisture or the precipitation to compare with in situ data sets. And this is the time series plot. And in this case, there is the hydrograph of precipitation and the SMAP soil moisture in the red. And you can see 5 years of SMAP soil moisture with the hydrograph of precipitation. One thing you will see in my talk is that the La Plata Basin is currently experiencing a drought, but also has a big dry down from the last 5 years. The units is, okay, the units of soil moisture is always meter cube per meter cube or volumetric soil moisture. So saturated soil moisture in volumetric, it will be 0.4, 0.45, whatever. And then residual soil moisture, the air entry soil moisture is 0.02, 0.03. Thank you. Okay, so basically, this is the, is it a different one for GPM or? Oh, okay, so the same. So basically you can do the soil moisture and the GPM and any other NASA data format in the same way. You can use these codes. Bin, did I summarize it correctly?
Yes, all correct. Yes, all correct.
Thank you. So, I mean, you can use this code, run it on your thing and ask any questions you may have. Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me? Does it admit, instead of shape files, to use KML from Google Earth?
I don't. He said, can you use
KML instead of shape files for the basin divide?
I believe so. You may have to use a separate or a different package for that Python function. I'd have to go and look at Bin's code to see exactly what he used, but it's Python, as you know, just like R, extremely adaptable. So, we will show later this afternoon, working in a Jupyter notebook with different types of data and looking at, how to use raster and shapefile vector data sets. So, yeah, it should be adaptable to your needs.
But I have to tell you, I do not know about SMAP and GPM data sets. They may be on Google Earth Engine, but our SMAP 1 kilometer data is not there on Google Earth Engine, from what I know. So, maybe using this kind of way to do it would be easier.
The watershed that I want to analyze, can I do it?
Yes, and in the Python code, you go back up there. There is the subsetting of reprojected or the shapefile. The shapefile of the watershed is the most important part. So once you have it, you can do it. Easy exercise, because this data is only for La Plata Basin. So the easy will be, can we go down to the picture? So easy it will be. So if you can say, okay, I don't want to do the whole thing. I just want to do one small watershed. Try it out and see if the picture you get corresponds to this one, correctly. So that would be the easiest test. Yes, you can do it. And again, the data which is loaded on the drive is only for La Plata Basin, because we thought it would be more beneficial as well as relevant to this community. But otherwise, all of this is global data on NSIDC or whichever server you want to go to. So,
And I'll just make a quick note. This was meant to be kind of a very brief introduction to working in Jupyter notebooks. We did upload what the expected outputs should be already. So if you go to the outputs, you can see a figure just like this for every year from 2016 to 2021. So that should already be on your computers if you've done the most recent Git pull. And then later, if you want to try to run it on your machines, you can kind of verify that it's working correctly, and you can make changes. And so that's something I will be showing this afternoon is how to take some code and make some changes depending on what your needs are. So.
And also with respect to GPM and SMAP, this is the two things which BIN specializes in. So if you have any questions, please, as I said, don't hesitate to email me or BIN directly. We'll be happy to do it. And this code is already out there. So it only will require modification of the code. Instead of La Plata River Basin, if you want to do Congo River Basin in Africa, all you have to do is get the right data, go to the right place and have the right shapefile. So it's not that difficult to go from this to Congo River Basin if you want to.
Buenos días. Una consulta. Los resultados. El resultado creo que está en 1 kilómetro. Quería consultar sobre el procedimiento o si se puede reducir a hacer un down scaling sobre el resultado. ¿Se puede mejorar todavía la resolución?
Those online, I think this may be a question for Ben, is that this was made from 1 kilometer data, and you're asking if it can be downscaled to a finer resolution. Ben, if you're online, would you like to address that question?
Yeah, actually, we have another nature data set at the 400-meter resolution using Eagle Strat data. So it depends on the input data set. You can have a better resolution data set. You can downscale the steps to a finer resolution.
So what we have done is we have used the VIIRS data set, the visible infrared imager, to go from 9 kilometers map to 400 meter. And we will soon have global data set at 400 meter. But the only limitation for downscaling is the resolution of the surface temperature and the vegetation index. The finer it is, the finer you can go.
Sorry if you have already said it, but I'm kind of lost here. The SMAP data, where is it? Is it in the GitHub or it's retrieving it from somewhere else?
Okay, so hopefully everyone can see my screen. We are in our session 2A. This map data is in the data folder here. And so we actually have 1 kilometer monthly SMAP and I think 10 kilometer precipitation. So this is what the code is processing. It is opening up these different geotiffs, it's projecting it and doing the analysis. So I'll show you later this afternoon, how you would actually download it to your computer. This is being provided for us.
But you know what, if you have the global data, if you put the shapefile, you should be able to cut out because it's all dependent on latitude, longitude. Yeah.
And which is the revisit time of the SMAP? It's possible to have a small time scale.
The SMAP data is 6 a.m., 6 p.m. and it has global coverage every 3 days. So there is parts which miss, but in 3 days you can fill the whole globe.
Thank you.
Questions for Dr. Lakshmi or for Ben? Or in Zoom, let me check. No? Okay. Again, if there's any problems, technical problems running the script, we can talk over lunch maybe, or later in the week, again, just stressing that it's all going to be here for you to run, and the data is online. So you may need to download it, but it will be there.
Thank you very much. The code is very interesting. Just maybe for have a better understanding of the steps, maybe you could add maybe some instructions. Well, what of the code is doing? No, because we saw in the first line the general description of a specific part, but maybe you can do it. I mean, a little bit more detailed.
Yes, so, oh, go ahead.
So the question was that in this code, which is long enough to have some more comments. Yeah, okay, we can do that, and then I'll talk to Ben and we can add. Ben, can we add some more comments for each of these steps so that it is more apparent to the user?
Yes, sure. I can add more comments.
Change, especially in the parts that you can change. For example, the shape file. To put this is where do you have to change the file. This is where you have to change the years, the days, and everything.
Yeah, Ben, especially where if the people want to repurpose this code to some different area or different time period, if you could put some comments, it will not be too many. It would be helpful for these participants in this workshop.